When starting to serge after threading the machine, there are going to be 4 individual threads coming out the back. Now you don't have that regular chain that you're used to seeing, so first thing we need to do is make sure we get all those threads locked together properly. If you're going to set the fabric right up to the edge of the foot, which is how we'll do it for sure once that chain is made, but while it's individual, hold these threads while you get started. Sometimes what I'll do is actually go ahead and slide my fabric under the foot, just so those needles, their first stitch is going to go into fabric. It's a great way to actually see if you've got it set up correctly. You can even hand turn the first couple stitches and just watch and make sure those kind of threads start to knit together correctly. I always use a scrap piece of fabric, and did you notice I folded the fabric in half and I'm stitching on the fold. That way, when I'm done, I can actually open it up and see the inside construction seam. Now keep serging out the back with a little gentle pull, and you can use scissors to cut this off, but what I do is I just take the thread down underneath the foot and sew until the knife cuts it off. So you don't have to lift and lower the presser foot at all, and that is wonderful. So what we're looking for is our threads here. We've got the 2 needle threads. You can see them going. That's the green and the yellow. They look like regular sewing machine stitches. Then the upper looper, it goes back and forth on the top of the fabric, and the lower looper goes back and forth on the back of the fabric. Now what I always do, and it's always on the back, so you gotta flip it over to peek, is you are looking for this to be a perfectly straight line of your lower looper thread color. By that being nice and straight, that means that this is a nice tight seam on the inside of your 2 layers of fabric. You also see, and it might be hard to see on here, but you have little tiny tick marks where the needle threads come through. So if any chance that those are loops, then we need to adjust tension or make sure threading was done correctly. But all in all, everything looks good, and the 2 loopers meet along the edge. This is why I like to have people do 4 different colors when they start to serge, so they can actually see which thread is doing what part of the sequence, and then you'll know which one to alter if there's a problem. When they're all 4 the same color, well, if you're not familiar with your serger stitch, that could be a little challenging. So give yourself time to practice with 4 different colors of thread, and even maybe make some of the samples that I'm showing on these videos.